Here you go, little one.
This is fun.
These strawberries are magical. If you love this, subscribe for more.
No one on Earth expected first contact to involve tears and strawberries. The alien ship that appeared above Earth was enormous, silent, silver, and shaped like a crescent moon. World leaders panicked, militaries mobilized. Scientists held their breath, but when the landing ramp lowered, no soldiers marched out. Instead, tiny beings waddled down. They were small, fluffy, round-eared creatures with shimmering violet eyes and soft silver fur. About the size of toddlers, they clutched each other nervously and made soft chirping sounds. The world stared. The official name of their species was later translated as Velari, but humanity gave them a simpler nickname, Alien Cubs. The first mistake. During first contact at a research facility in Geneva, scientists tried to offer them food. Carefully selected, nutritionally balanced samples: rice, bread, fruit, vegetables. The alien cubs sniffed everything. Then they all made the same face: disgust. One little cub squeaked loudly and hid behind another. The scientists exchanged worried looks. If the cubs wouldn't eat, their survival could be at risk. Then something unexpected happened. A young technician named Mia had been working late. She had brought her lunch from home-fresh strawberries dipped in melted chocolate, neatly packed in a small container. When she opened it to take a bite, every single cub froze. 20 violet eyes locked onto the container. Silence filled the room. One cub slowly stepped forward, nose twitching. Mia blinked. You want one? The cub reached out tiny paws and gently took a chocolate-covered strawberry. It sniffed, licked it once, and then its eyes widened. The cub made a soft trill that rose in pitch like a happy whistle. It took a bite. Chocolate cracked softly. Sweet strawberry juice spilled. The cub froze for half a second. Then it began hopping in tiny circles, chirping wildly. The other cubs gasped. Within seconds, they surrounded Mia. Humanity had just discovered the universal language of joy: chocolate strawberries. Panic in space. What humanity didn't know was that the alien cubs were not random visitors. They were the offspring of one of the most advanced warrior civilizations in the galaxy. Their parents, the Velari High Fleet, were watching from orbit. They had come to evaluate Earth. If humanity proved hostile or inferior, Earth would be absorbed quietly into Velari territory. But the cubs had been sent first. Velari believed a civilization's true nature was revealed by how they treated the young, and right now, their cubs were squealing with happiness while being gently fed strawberries dipped in chocolate. The Velari commanders stared at the live transmission. One of the cubs tugged at Mia's sleeve and chirped until she gave it another piece. The human laughed. The cub purred. The Velari admiral leaned back slowly. No hostile behavior, the translator drone reported. Humans are displaying nurturing instincts. Another cub offered half of its strawberry back to Mia. Sharing, the bridge fell silent. The strawberry crisis. News spread globally within hours. Alien cubs love chocolate strawberries. Social media exploded. Farmers were contacted. Chocolate factories increased production overnight. In Japan, a chef carefully decorated strawberries like tiny hearts. In France, pastry chefs designed elegant chocolate strawberry towers. In America, a child drew a crayon picture of a cub holding a giant strawberry. Shipments began arriving at the Geneva facility by the truckload. But there was a problem. The cubs would only eat strawberries dipped in chocolate by humans. Not machines, not automated systems. When a robotic arm tried to serve them, the cubs backed away. When a human carefully dipped the fruit and handed it over, flashing cameras, loud sounds, too much noise. Barry began to cry a soft, heartbreaking whimper. Mia immediately knelt down. "No cameras," she ordered gently. The room went quiet. She slid under the table slowly and held out a chocolate strawberry. Barry sniffed, eyes wet. Mia didn't push closer. She just waited. After a moment, Barry crawled forward and climbed into her lap, clutching the strawberry like treasure. The cub calmed instantly. On the Valari flagship, silence spread across the command deck. The admiral spoke quietly. "Record this." Barry fell asleep against Mia's chest. Humans had not reacted with irritation, not fear, not dominance. They had responded with patience, protection, kindness. The decision. The next morning, a massive Valari vessel descended from orbit. This time, tall armored beings emerged. The world held its breath. But the warriors did not draw weapons. They bowed. The Valari admiral approached Mia, who stood nervously holding Barry. Through translation, he spoke. "You have passed the trial." Gasps rippled through the crowd. "Our young are our greatest treasure. You have treated them with gentleness, generosity, and joy. A species that protects children, even alien ones, is not an enemy." The admiral paused. "Also, we request the recipe." The entire room burst into laughter. Humanity, F***. Yeah. In the months that followed, Earth and the Valari formed an alliance. Trade agreements were signed. Technology was exchanged. Valari healing science advanced human medicine by decades. In return, Earth exported strawberries and chocolate. Entire greenhouses were built aboard Valari ships. Human volunteers were invited to visit and teach Valari families how to dip strawberries properly. Apparently, technique mattered. The cubs insisted. And whenever a Valari fleet entered a new star system, they carried a simple lesson learned from Earth. Strength is impressive. Power is respected. But kindness? Kindness is unforgettable. Epilogue. Years later, Mia visited the Valari homeworld. Barry, now much bigger but still fluffy, ran toward her across a field of glowing alien plants. It carried something carefully in its paws. A strawberry, dipped in chocolate. But this time, Barry handed it to her, sharing. Mia smiled, tears in her eyes. Across the galaxy, humans were no longer known as the fragile newcomers. They were known as something else. The species who fed the cubs. And in the Valari language, that translated to friends. The alliance between Earth and the Valari had been peaceful for 3 years. Trade flourished. Technology advanced. And across the galaxy, one strange export from Earth became legendary. Chocolate-dipped strawberries. But peace is always tested. It began with a signal. Valari long-range scanners detected an approaching fleet at the edge of their territory. Unknown, massive, heavily armed. They called themselves the Carthuan Dominion. Cold, efficient, expansionist. Where they traveled, civilizations either surrendered or vanished. The Valari High Council assembled immediately. "We will defend our territory," the admiral declared. But something unexpected happened. Before mobilization orders could be finalized, the cubs started crying. Across Valari cities, young cubs sensed the fear in their parents. The emotional bond of their species was powerful. Anxiety spread like wildfire, and Valari cubs were distressed. The entire society destabilized. The High Council hesitated. War would protect their borders, but it would scar their young. So they sent a message to Earth. The emergency transmission arrived during a routine agricultural summit in Argentina. Valari Ambassador Carell appeared on screen. "We require assistance," he said formally. "Not military support, not weapons. We request humans, specifically the Cub Care teams. Since first contact, Earth had formed volunteer groups trained to interact with Valari young. Teachers, pediatricians, farmers, chefs, and Mia? She led them. Within 48 hours, human transport ships equipped with portable hydroponic strawberry gardens launched toward Valari space. News channels exploded. Humans deploy strawberry diplomacy, but this time it wasn't symbolic. It was strategic. When the Carthuan fleet entered Valari territory, they expected resistance, warships, defense arrays, fear. Instead, they intercepted something strange. Valari planetary broadcasts showing alien cubs laughing. Human volunteers teaching them how to dip strawberries into flowing chocolate fountains. Families gathered together. No panic, no chaos. Just unity. The Carthuan commander studied the footage carefully. "Why are they not mobilizing?" he asked. A Carthuan intelligence officer replied, "The Valari appear to be emotionally stabilizing." The commander frowned. Further scans revealed something more alarming. Human ships were present. Small, unarmed, positioned near Valari population centers. "Are they hostages?" the commander asked. "No," the officer said quietly. "They are caregivers." The Carthuan bridge fell silent. Caregivers during an invasion? The Carthuan were conquerors. They understood power. They understood fear. But they did not understand something else. A species willing to stand beside another as children during danger. When long-range visuals showed humans calmly sitting among Valari cubs feeding them chocolate strawberries while warships formed defensive lines in orbit, the Carthuan commander leaned back slowly. "Why would they risk themselves?" he muttered. Another officer responded, "Because they value the young of another species as their own." Silence. The Carthuan had studied thousands of civilizations, most fractured under threat. Most protected only their own, but humans? Humans crossed the stars. To comfort someone else's children. The psychological implications were disturbing. A species that bonds that deeply is a species that fights fiercely. Before firing a single shot, the Carthuan requested direct communication. The Valari admiral appeared on screen. Beside him stood Mia, holding Barry's paw. Behind them, cubs happily dipped strawberries into chocolate fountains. The Carthuan commander stared. "You prepare for war with sweets?" Mia smiled gently. "No," she said. "We prepare for whatever happens. But the kids come first." The Valari admiral added, "If you attack, we will defend ourselves." His eyes hardened. "But understand this, you will not be facing one species. You will face two. And one of them," he glanced at Mia, "packs strawberries." There was no arrogance, no threat, just certainty. The Carthuan commander studied the humans carefully. He had seen predators. He had seen warriors. But these beings? They were something else. They nurtured without weakness. They protected without hesitation. They were not afraid because they were united. Hours passed. Tension gripped the star system. Then, the Carthuan fleet turned around. No attack, no bombardment. Just a simple transmission. The Dominion does not seek war with civilizations that inspire such loyalty. And they left. Across Valari space, cheers erupted. Cubs chirped in delight, unaware how close danger had been. Barry tugged on Mia's sleeve. "More dip?" the translator chirped. Mia laughed. "Yeah, buddy. More dip." The incident changed the galaxy. Reports spread quickly. Humans do not conquer. Humans connect. And any species that bonds with humanity gains something rare, unbreakable alliance. New diplomatic missions formed. Other civilizations requested cultural exchange programs. Specifically, culinary exchange programs. Chocolate strawberry exports tripled. And somewhere in deep space, the Carthuan commander recorded a private log. "Strength comes in many forms. We miscalculated. Never underestimate a species that travels across stars." Carrying dessert. That evening on the Valari homeworld, Barry sat beside Mia under glowing alien constellations. "Scary ships gone," Barry chirped. "Yeah," Mia whispered. Barry held up a strawberry carefully dipped in chocolate. For brave humans, Mia accepted it. Across the galaxy, humanity had earned a new title in Valari language, Guardians of the Sweet, and in every system where Valari ships traveled, one message followed: "If you threaten the cubs, humanity will arrive with strawberries."